Humans have been sharing stories for millennia. Initially, these stories were passed down orally, likely serving to convey important information about how to perform specific tasks while also fostering close bonds through shared experiences. Beyond that, stories were used to impart moral lessons and philosophical frameworks, explaining how we got here and how to navigate life. Stories are rooted in the reality we experience, much like how we cannot imagine living in more than three spatial dimensions. However, we can create extensions of reality, stories that aren't based on actual events but are still believable. These are often referred to as fiction. Our minds create models of reality based on what we experience, and these extensions of reality, fictional stories, can also serve as a source of learning. But what happens when these models are inaccurate? To explore this question, let's consider an AI simulation. While humans learn from experience, AI learns from data. I used a dataset to train and test an AI model made in Python. In this graph, the blue line represents accuracy, while the magenta line represents loss, which shows how far the predictions were from reality. In the second training process, I introduced some noise into the data. In the third, I increased the noise even further. As we can see, the model's ability to predict the test data declines as the noise in the training data increases. This is a straightforward illustration of how noise can negatively impact the model's performance. But how can we avoid this issue? Here I will present a possible solution. We could identify incorrect data by training more submodels on different subsets of the data in various sequences. By comparing the predictions of different models, if the majority predict correctly, the data can be considered accurate. If not, that particular data point is likely incorrect. This method assumes that incorrect data is in the minority. This brings us to an important question. Are human brains capable of filtering out false information? Consider movies and books. These mediums can evoke emotions as if the events portrayed were real, even though we know they are not. For example, horror films can scare us even though we are fully aware they are fictional. This suggests that at least part of our brain interprets these fictional experiences as real and learns from them. However, we also know that by consciously reminding ourselves it's just a movie, we can dampen those emotions. This highlights the potential role of consciousness in distinguishing between real and fictional experiences. Another important point is that our models of reality are primarily formed during the early stages of life, as neuroplasticity is more pronounced in younger people. This is one reason why certain movies have age restrictions. The more we expose ourselves to false models of reality, the more our brains may adapt to them, potentially leading to incorrect beliefs or unrealistic expectations. For example, films where our characters are morally bad can make us more risk-averse in relationships. Conversely, movies where everyone is too good might make us overly trusting. Some stories may present unrealistic progress in relationships, leading us to believe that forming deep connections is easier than it really is. In conclusion, it's best to avoid low-quality extensions of reality or other negative influences. Engaging consciously by acknowledging misrepresentations can also help mitigate their impact on our beliefs and expectations. I hope this was helpful. Feel free to leave feedback and have a meaningful day.